today's adventure is one that I never thought I'd be doing. I'm gonna be camping at Disney World with my wife Chelsea, which is gonna be interesting. But before our campground's ready, we're going to spend some time at Magic Kingdom, ride a couple rides, and then hop on over as soon as camp's ready. So we're gonna have a little bit more fun here, and then really start the adventure.
You can't go home. You can't go home. But you can find another shelter you can call your own.
It has been an incredibly successful morning at Magic Kingdom. Staying at Fort Wilderness is probably the cheapest way to get some of the resort perks like early park access and priority access to stuff like lightning lanes, so it makes your stay really efficient. We're gonna head back and we're gonna enjoy some of the activities at Fort Wilderness really quick. So we're taking the monorail and gonna have a good time.
You can't push time. You can't push time. But you can ride out every wave like an alibi. Your past won't leave. Your past won't leave. It'll stay with them like it stays with me. You won't break free. You won't break free. 'Cause death is gonna get you, life is gonna get me.
Fort Wilderness is huge, roughly 750 acres, so getting around is tricky. Disney has a bus system, but it's incredibly time-consuming and unreliable. Most people use golf carts to get around, and Disney even offers rentals. However, they are often sold out as they were on our stay, so we found ourselves walking miles to make it to any activity on time. Now, Fort Wilderness has a lot of different activities, but there was one iconic camp activity we knew we had to do: archery. Now, the archery here is definitely geared more towards children, and sure, it taking place in a parking lot instead of a grass field killed the camp vibe, but we still really had a lot of fun. After archery, we walk around Fort Wilderness until we make our way down to the docks, so we can hitch a ride to the Wilderness Lodge for dinner. With our bellies now full, we are ready to head back to Magic Kingdom one last time to enjoy the fireworks.
Is a free-floating vessel, and docking can be bumpy at times. For your safety, keep seated. Remain seated.
We will travel many miles. Will we ever see home again? Waves they tower, screams get louder. All I need is your hand in mine.
So that was the last shot that I got before we packed down camp at 2 in the morning to just leave Fort Wilderness. I'm going to get really deep into some gripes that I had with this entire experience right here. And if you seriously are considering a stay at Fort Wilderness in any kind of pop-up tent or non-RV, you definitely want to listen up. So first gripe, the reason that we left, the one that just made it intolerable. Our campground was situated right by a bus stop and right by a main road. When we got there and we saw this, we immediately went to the front desk office because we were going there to try and get a golf cart anyways, which ended up being its own hassle. But when we got there were about 10 employees not really doing anything, and that's fine. But the one person that we just asked for a little bit of help was the most apathetic person that I've ever seen doing their job. And I definitely can understand if you have a customer service job getting burnt out, but it was next level. We didn't know that we could call ahead to try and get a preferred campsite. They just randomly assign you one day of, which is a huge problem. The campground they assigned us was next to that busy road, and they said they had none available and that we could upgrade for a fee to maybe a different one, but we were sleeping on a pop-up tent on top of the car. We didn't want to be next to an RV with generators going. We were in the pop-up section. Sleeping in a regular tent or our rooftop tent, we do think about noise, and generators are loud running throughout the night. So we wanted to stay in the pop-up area. The other thing is golf carts are not available, and this is like a known issue, and they have a bus transit system. Needless to say, there were no buses at all when we needed them, and they made us late to a couple things. And the one activity that we really wanted to try and do, the archery, we were late to because there were no buses. We ended up having to walk 2 miles to get to it, and it just was long walking everywhere. But yeah, we couldn't get a different campground, and I kind of was hoping that they would respect quiet hours after 10 p.m. That's typical when you're camping, that they have quiet hours, and most campers are respectful of that. And every other campground I've ever been to, even in the most popular national parks, people respect the quietness and the quiet hours that you want when you go out camping. Nobody respected this. We had golf carts honking and driving by constantly, people yelling and screaming all the way up until 2 in the morning. We just left. It wasn't stopping. And honestly, nothing ruins a camping trip more than not being able to sleep. It was truly frustrating, and we had planned to go to Animal Kingdom the next day after having a nice breakfast, and we had this whole plan for this video. So that was the biggest gripe, and that was the biggest problem. And obviously, I captured a lot of footage and I put a lot of time into this video, and I was really excited to make it. So a couple other gripes were the lack of transportation, which I got into. I'm not going to harp on that too much. But then there's other little funny things that I hyped up in my mind, like the campfire sing-along. I kind of envisioned this big fire pit that you gathered around and you would sing Disney songs, and I expected to be kind of campy, and I definitely understand this is a kid-friendly experience, but I thought it'd be really fun. Instead, what we found are tiny fire pits. I've been to little tiny restaurants with fire pits 10 times the size of these fire pits. So they're off to the side, and some Johnny Karate from Parks and Rec style musician playing up on stage. Needless to say, we walked around it and we're just like, nope, this is it. We're not going to bother with this. So that really sucked. And if you plan on doing the parks the next day, absolutely do not do any kind of pop-up camping there. It needs to be like an RV or trailer. Disney, you gotta like enforce quiet hours or do something. You need to make the buses more available. Honestly, camping's supposed to be a nice, relaxing getaway. I don't know what was going on there. Just an overall frustrating experience. I'm trying not to be as negative as I was the past couple days. I've had some time to decompress to make this video, but I should have never camped there because it ruined camping for me for a bit. I'm hoping to do another reset somewhere else. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys really want to see some beautiful camping adventures, we got many more coming up, and I definitely need them after this trip. See ya.